This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 839, 7 Ways to Adventure-ize Your Next Vacation by Leon Logothetis of leonlogothetis.com. And I'm Justin Malik, your personal narrator, reading blogs to you mostly, but sometimes books, anything that I think will help you optimize your life. Today's post being from Leon Logothetis, who created the Kindness Diaries series on Netflix, where he attempts to travel with no money, relying on the kindness and generosity of random people that he meets on the streets. Is pretty fascinating and quite touching. I do suggest having a tissue handy if you're going to watch it. And today's article is about traveling, which obviously he's good at. Before we get to the post, this part of Optimal Living Daily is brought to you by ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. Try it for free by going to ziprecruiter.com/old. That's ziprecruiter.com/OLD. So let's get right to it as we optimize your life. 7 Ways to Adventure-ize Your Next Vacation by Leon Logothetis of leonlogothetis.com. Quote, bite off more than you can chew, then chew it. Ella Williams. There are many different reasons for going on a much-deserved vacation. Some want to relax, some want to visit historical sites, and some want adventure, me. If you're among those who can't remember much more about your trips than the monotonous ramblings of a jaded tour guide and fighting the annoying crowds at tourist attractions, you know that adventure isn't guaranteed on every trip. But if you're an adventurous soul, then you can make an adventure out of anything you do. Luckily, you can turn any vacation from a predictable trip into a life-affirming adventure. The only problem is that you may not want to come home when your once tame vacations are replaced with adventures of a lifetime. You have been warned. Here you will find 7 vacation boredom-crushing tips. Number 1, go somewhere totally off the beaten path. I suggest that you throw away your guidebook and spin the globe around and around until you found a place that most of your friends don't even know exists. North Korea, Myanmar, Eritrea, and who can forget the small African country of Lesotho? Get there and adventure is guaranteed. Number 2, turn off your social media devices as much as you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they can all wait for your return. If you bring all your modern technological comforts with you, you will miss the true magic of travel, the people, the sights, the smells, the connections, not the Facebook kind. Number 3, go low budget. Staying in 5-star hotels, traveling first class, and eating in top-ranked restaurants can make for a comfortable and relaxing vacation, and also a very boring one. If you want a real soul-pumping adventure, turn your trip into an extreme low-budget one. If any of your friends live in your destination countries, ask to sleep on their couch. Email David Cameron, the Prime Minister of England, and ask if he has a spare couch for you to sleep on. Take public transportation instead of taxis. Chat with other riders and get off at any stop that looks promising or any stop that doesn't look promising. Buy street food instead of going to Western-style restaurants. Number 4, inspire someone. As long as you're traveling, you might as well do some good. Try volunteering while on the road. There are plenty of opportunities that you can arrange beforehand, or you can stop by the local travel agency at your destination for some guidance. You'll meet new people, probably learn a few new skills, and find out how the local economy works. Or you can Facebook or tweet me and I can give you some ideas. But you have to do that before you travel because you won't have a smartphone on your adventures, will you? Number 5, ask the locals. Wherever you are, the locals know best. Sometimes their idea of best coincides with yours. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, you can learn a little something from them and end up doing something that you otherwise might not have done. They might suggest something wonderful or downright crazy, or they could send you off on a wild goose chase, which is an adventure in itself. They may even offer to take you to the place they recommended, and voila, you've just made an instant new friend, someone you can chat with on Facebook when your awesome adventure is over and you are back home, being bored on Facebook. Number 6, get in the car and drive. It's not easy to get lost when you're using GPS, but not impossible, as I can attest. On one of your vacation days, get in the car and start driving. You may pass through small towns that aren't in the tour books, or see wildlife that you never expected, like the time I was attacked by a monkey in Cambodia. You can always check your GPS when you're ready to figure out where the hell you are, Or you could throw out your GPS out the window and rely on the stars and the locals and the signs in foreign languages and your intuition. Number 7, order off the menu. Wait, that doesn't sound so crazy. Well, ordering off the menu when you have no idea what it says can create an adventure. This tactic works especially well in countries where the language is different from your own, like maybe Swahili, unless of course you speak Swahili. For example, unless you know Norwegian, you might not happen to know that smalhove is a dish made from boiled sheep's head. In Cambodia, you can end up with anything from spiced eel to fruit bats. I wish I hadn't tried this little tip myself, as eating jellyfish isn't particularly appealing. Ultimately, when we embrace flexibility and spontaneity, anything can happen, and I mean anything. By following these vacation boredom-crushing tips, you're a lot more likely to end up with a series of adventures on your next vacation than a stream of boring Facebook status updates. You just listened to the post titled 7 Ways to Adventure-ize Your Next Vacation by Leon Logothetis of leonlogothetis.com. And I have a fun request for you, but first, thank you again to ZipRecruiter. Hiring? Every business needs great people and a better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job. These invitations have revolutionized how you find your next hire. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive, so you never miss a great match. The right candidates are out there. ZipRecruiter is how you find them. And right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/old. That's ziprecruiter.com/OLD. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. When I've traveled in the past, it's been mostly through the tour guide approach, which I do struggle with. I get bored and don't feel like I'm actually experiencing normal life in the culture, which is what I think I enjoy most about traveling, the everyday life kind of stuff, more so than tourist attractions. It's nice to see historical monuments and stuff, but after about a minute or two, I'm pretty much done with it. I'm not sure if that's how you are, but I do think these tips will help me next time I travel, as long as I'm safe about it. Some of the stuff he said was a little sketchy, but Leon knows what he's talking about. He's been to a lot of places. And speaking of lots of places, I do have a request for you. I'm collecting pictures from you, the listener. I just want to see where you are when you're listening to this show, like right now. What are you doing right now? What's your view? Even if it's not the perfect place or the most beautiful location, like for example, mine would probably be sitting in traffic because I listen to podcasts in the car. But I'd want to see that, whatever the case is. If you can do it safely, snap a picture as you're listening and send it to me. I want to share it in my newsletter and on the website. You can send the picture to optimallivingdaily@gmail.com or get in touch at oldpodcast.com. You can also reply to my newsletter. Any way is fine, and you can send a picture from there. I'd love to see where you're listening from. All right, this is getting long, so I'll leave it there for today. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow reading to you where your optimal life awaits.